Thanks for joining us at 616 Toy Reviews. This is Aaron.
This is Christian.
We're looking at Mezco's 112 series, the Merc Without a Mouth.
Deathstroke the Terminator.
We'll see you soon. Welcome back to 616 Toy Reviews. This is Aaron here.
This is Christian.
We're here looking at the Mezco 112 series Deathstroke. Just to start off with, I gotta say he looks pretty good for the most part.
He's amazing.
He is pretty good. So let's start out. We'll start out with articulation.
So same thing, with Deadpool. Let me take out that rifle. Well, a little technical difficulty there.
And fell off.
Well, hold on. Oh, he grew it back just like Deadpool.
Man, look at that health or healing factor. He doesn't have a healing factor though, does he?
Yeah, he does.
Does he?
Yeah. So he can look up about that far. Looks down about there. His arm go about that far forward. Go out about that far. Double bend at the elbow. Wrist articulation. Can't really kick that far with this leg because of the gun holster. He's got no ab crunch because of the armor. He can look about that far back. Double joint at the knee. No swivel at the top of the boot. A little bit of an ankle rocker. Boy, oh boy, is he awesome.
Well, of course, with the Mezco 112 series, they use a cloth, like real clothes, mixed along with some sculpted pieces. So a lot of this in here is actually sculpted in. There's very little cloth. I mean, the biggest piece of cloth is just his pants, really, right here. I mean, it's underneath all of his armor from the top to the bottom, but everything is really detailed, finely sculpted. It's really got a lot of details in there. The paint wash is really good. The scarring, the battle damage is really good.
So there's also another version of him out there. He's called the Stealth, and he's pretty much same figure, but he's all black. He's got a sniper rifle, a machine gun, still has the same rifle, same head. Difference is that he's black.
So there's two versions out there. That's interesting.
Just like there's 3 Deadpools. So.
Yeah. Well, I gotta say, the sculpt on all of the pieces that are on him is very good. I mean, there's a lot of details in there. You can see that the color of the paint is it's perfect. It's really right on.
You can tell that he's kind of inspired from the Arkham Origins.
Yeah, he's really got a lot of.
The one thing that bothers me about him is I wish they would get, besides more weapons. I mean, Deathstroke. I mean, guns. I mean, and his staff. Is that I wish they would gave him more armor, like armor on the legs. But I've seen people take like the pieces from the DC Direct Arkham Origins Deathstroke, and they would glue it on there and paint it so it all looks matching, and he has the more armor on his legs.
That's kind of cool. And one thing I'd like, if we're gonna pick it apart, there is one thing about it that I am noticing that I don't like. Like you can see on the Deadpool, you were able to take out all the little grenades. So it would have been kind of cool if they hadn't sculpted that in it. They added that little detail. He does come with a decent amount of accessories in comparison to like a Marvel Legend. But, a lot of these Mezco guys have a lot more accessories, and he's Deathstroke. Deathstroke's just like Deadpool, man. He's known for his weapons. He's known for, using different kinds of weapons in combat. He
is DC's best merc.
Yeah, he does have the gun with the removable clip, just like Deadpool. But they sculpted this part in there. The sheath is removable. They got a great sculpt on the face. The second face is a really good sculpt of the head, if you ask me. I like it. You know, and he's of course comes with the good stand.
See, yeah, like my partner said, man, that head just looks so good.
It does look good, and honestly, Deathstroke's one of the guys where, for me, I really do like having the the unmasked head with him, because it just gives him that other level. He looks badass whether no matter he's got the mask on or the mask off. He looks badass either way. So I guess now it's just moving on to comparisons. So we'll start with. You want to start with him first? We'll just go life by life.
So here he is next to his brother from another mother, Deadpool. You know, they could definitely go perfect with each other. You know, another awesome Mezco figure. But like I said in the Deadpool review, Deathstroke's my boy.
And the funny thing is about the two of them is that Deathstroke is pretty much Deadpool was a copy of Deathstroke, kind of a copy, and pretty much. I mean, Slade Wilson, Wade Wilson. I mean, that's pretty obvious. They do have a different attitude, a different way of doing things, but they definitely look like they're supposed to be brothers.
Yeah, Deathstroke's the more ethereal one.
Yeah. So it's but he should have had more accessories. So I guess the next thing we'll compare it to, we got another DC. This is a DC Legacy figure. He is on the stand. You want to take that stand and match it up a little better. But you see them next to each other. She's a little tall. The Legacy were always a little bit tall. So again, in this, certain ones aren't gonna. He's not gonna match with. With that
her ass, even if she was taller.
Oh no, she's pretty cute. And then we'll go with you want to do him?
Yeah. Here he is next to another Merc, Bullseye. This father-in-law hunk of junk.
But he's got the right size. And they go together really well. They look like they could go together on a shelf. Of course, you wouldn't want this particular Bullseye on a shelf next to something that's so nice, but.
I definitely, if you're going to display a Bullseye, I'd definitely get that Netflix.
Yeah, the new Netflix way is definitely a lot better. I still like that one though. I like the face on him, but he's not necessarily the guy you need. And then we got our coked up Hercules here. He's got the custom coke on the beard. Actually, I think it's not on purpose, but. This is just a fodder guy, but either way, you see
he did too many lines.
Yeah, too many lines. He got into it a little bit, but either way, they go well together. Hercules is a hulking guy.
Yeah.
I mean, of course, the quality, clothing. He's got actual clothing on. Hercules doesn't, but they still go. You could probably put them next to a shelf if you like both of them. I mean, there obviously isn't a better Hercules.
Sorry to go back to Hercules, but I think he owes Tony Montana some money.
He might.
Just for you, Eric. Just for you, buddy.
He looked like he could work with him, though.
But honestly, though, Deathstroke would still kick his ass. I mean, a little history for Deathstroke. He first appeared in 1980's New Teen Titans, issue number 2, with his son, Ravager.
Yeah, they've gone through a lot of different titles. I mean, Deathstroke, DC's used him. They started out with Titans, but in the end, they moved him to Batman. He's been in the video games. He's been in TV. On Arrow. He's a big character on Arrow. I mean, he's a really popular character, and in my opinion, he's got to be one of my favorite 5 DC characters.
I mean, another little thing is, Deathstroke's gone head-to-head with Batman. He's beat Batman. He took down the Justice League by himself. I mean, not that it was like the main 7, but it was like Green Arrow, Atom, Hawkman, Wally West, Flash, and Kyle Rayner, Green Lantern. I mean, that's still, some key players, and he took them down by himself. He's strategically strategized how to take down everyone. Oh, and what was that one chick? The Magic.
You you're talking about.
Zatanna.
Oh, Zatanna, yeah.
Yeah, Zatanna. I mean, he took her down with, I think it was like a hit to, or no, it was maybe Black Canary hit to the gut, and to mobilize him, and with, no, I think it was Zatanna. And then Canary put like a bag over her head or something.
Well, I know he's a badass, and there's not a single person in that doesn't think twice about him when he's mentioned.
Oh, and also he's gone head to head with Wonder Woman, Superman.
Yeah.
I mean, Superman. If you could go head to head and take blows from Superman,
yeah,
you are a badass.
Well, and he's basically kind of similar story to Deadpool in that. Well, actually, I guess Deadpool's a similar story to him, but same type of thing. He was a secret experiment. He thought at the time he was going to make it so that he couldn't be, so that they couldn't be able to interrogate him. But he didn't know that what it really was to make him a super soldier. And his father died. I guess he had took the same type of program or something. No,
his son.
His son. His son was on the same program, and his son died.
From Hive.
Yeah, from Hive.
So he pretty much, what happened too was he was secretly a mercenary, and he refused to work for this guy named the Jackal. Not to confuse people with the Spider-Man villain. Two different things. And so his son, one of his sons got kidnapped and was killed, and his wife at the time, Adeline, got mad and shot him, and she shot him in the eye, and for a healing factor, his eye never healed. So that's how it was. And in the New 52, way later on before the rebirth started, he had his eye back somehow, and at the end he took his eye out and made a deal with someone. I can't remember exactly.
Yeah. Well, I know he's a very popular character, that's for sure, in DC. One of my favorites in DC. So I guess we'll break down to a rating at this point. So you want to start?
Out of a 10?
First? Yeah, out of 10.
Honestly, out of a 10, I'd give him a 20.
Well, I'm going to have to be the more cynical of the two of us. I ain't going to be
if I can't choose a 20, I'd give him a definite solid 10.
Yeah. Well, he's pretty cool. I got to say, I've seen all the Deathstroke figures. There's a couple that I really, really like. But he's definitely one of the coolest ones I've ever seen. I guess, one thing I would say about him that just really bothers me, and it's kind of pointless, is the accessories. I wish they would have done him up like they did the Deadpool, because that would have put him at a top 10 for me.
Because, you can't he should have his little staff that he has.
Yeah.
He should came with a knife, or maybe a knife.
Well, grenades, and, just the normal
machine
tools.
Gun, sniper rifle.
The sniper rifle, for sure.
Well, that just happened.
Alright, well, with that said, I would give it like a 9 out of 10. That would be what I think I would work with. And I know you're going to give him a 10 out of 10. He's disappointed here, because I did give Deadpool a 10 out of 10. And he gave him an 8 out of 10. But
honestly, the one thing, too, that is he should have had his little bandana part on the back of his helmet. Like Deathstroke is known for having.
Well, and for me, I think that it's sad that you're going to take two characters that are basically, copies of each other, and you're going to give one a lot of accessories, give the other one not as much accessories. I'll be honest, the sculpt, the paint, everything about him is legit. Everything about him except the accessories is legit.
Well, it's kind of bullshit, too, that, you give the stealth version more weapons.
Yeah, well, that's because they probably want you to buy it twice. They probably know the stealth version isn't going to be a hot because it's kind of a made-up version that they made up or took from a couple comics, I'm imagining.
Yeah.
It's an alternative look. And so they give them all the weapons, so you'll buy that guy just for the weapons.
And he's like $125.
Oh, man, see, then they up the price, too. Well, that's how they do you. And how much was this one? $80?
Yeah.
What about on the second market? Do you know? Is it probably the same?
Well, regular price is $100, and I found them at my comic store, Atomic Comics. Not to cheap plug them. I like that store. For after tax, it was $88.
So that's a pretty good deal, I mean, for this particular figure. But I guess when you pay less, you get less accessories. Is kind of what they're saying to the public. I personally think that if you're going to make something as great as this and put the time in, you might as well try to get all that you can out of it. So I guess we're done with that. We covered everything, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for tuning in to 616 12 View, and we'll see you next time.
Peace.